The Greater Lafourche Port Commission is excited to present the following information regarding the Galliano Airport Connector and Roadway project. This information is being provided to the public as a component of the environmental review requirements of the project. Thank you for taking the time to review this information. The Port Commission welcomes your comments and would encourage you to give us feedback regarding this project. The following agencies and organizations represent the project team. The owner is the Greater Lafourche Port Commission, Galliano, Louisiana. The state administering agency is the Louisiana Department of Transportation and Development, Baton Rouge. The lead federal agency for this project is the Federal Highway Administration. The project engineer is Picciola and Associates, Cutoff, Louisiana. Meeting purpose. Let's begin by describing the purpose of this meeting. A. To provide the public with a general description of the proposed project. Purpose B. To describe the goals of the project as well as the anticipated benefits. C. The anticipated impacts will also be explained. D. Public feedback will be taken in for consideration and possible implementation. And finally, E. To provide you with the appropriate contact information you'll need for commenting or asking questions. We want to encourage you to continue to be involved with this project. Project phases. 2 phases of this project have already been completed. The Lafourche Parish government completed Phase 1, LPG Airport Road, in their sales tax district program. It included 3,500 feet of reconstruction and drainage work of approximately $1.2 million. Phase 2, which was also recently completed, was titled the EDA Grant LA 308 Turn Lane and Airport Road. The project included approximately 2,500 feet of reconstruction and drainage work along Airport Road. This $900,000 project was a joint effort between the Port, the Lafourche Parish government, and the Economic Development Administration. The proposed project to be discussed here is the third and final phase. Its completion will finally make the connection between Airport Road, LA1, and Louisiana 3235, and the neighboring communities to Port Fourchon, a connection that has been in the planning for many years now. Part 2, Project Goals and Objectives. This project includes 4 major goals. The goals or objectives include A. Provide direct, safe connectivity to Port Fourchon and the statewide highway network. B. Enhance local connectivity to Louisiana 3235. C. Improve the resilience of the transportation infrastructure, industrial operations, and communities in Lafourche Parish and the Gulf of Mexico. And D. Improve the economic competitiveness of the South Lafourche area. Part 3, Major Design Elements. 4 major design elements make up the proposed project. The elements include A. New 3-lane vertical lift span bridge. B. 0.4-mile 2-lane connector roadway. C. Roadway and drainage improvements along Louisiana 308 and LA1, LA 3235, and the proposed connector roadway. And D. Utility relocations for water, gas, and communications. Project scope, major design elements. Here we can see the location of the major elements on a vicinity map. A. Vertical lift span bridge. B. New roadway connector. C. Road and drainage improvements throughout. And D. The utility relocations along Louisiana 1 and LA 308 corridors. Zooming in on the location of the proposed bridge, we can see that it is a 3-lane lift-span concrete structure across Bayou Lafourche. The existing roadways adjacent to the bridge will be realigned and overlaid. This proposed bridge will be similar to the LA 1 to LA 308 bridge in Matthews. The second major element is the connector roadway. This roadway is approximately 4/10 of a mile long and will provide direct access from Louisiana 3235 to the South Lafourche Leonard Miller Airport. The proposed asphalt roadway will also include incidental drainage improvements along the new corridor. Elements C and D, drainage and utility improvements. Elements C and D can be seen on this vicinity map. Element C includes drainage improvements along the new corridor, LA 308, LA 1, and across the 3235 highway. Element D will include required utility relocations near the proposed bridge. These are required due to slight widening of the roadways. Part 4, Project Impacts. The next section describes the anticipated impacts of the proposed project. Construction impacts to landowners. Roadway improvements, Highway 3235. The connector roadway will be directly accessible from LA 3235. Entrance and exit accesses are being developed at this time for approval by the Department of Transportation and the Federal Highway Administration. These elements will be designed to provide safe access to and from the proposed connector. Landowners along the west right-of-way should experience minimal impacts as the improvements should not require additional right-of-way acquisition. Landowners along the east right-of-way may experience minimal widening of the highway right-of-way, especially in the vicinity of the connector. Roadway improvements, LA 1 and LA 308. During construction, landowners along LA 1 and LA 308 will experience some traffic impacts, minor noise impacts, and will be in the proximity of the bridge construction work. Temporary traffic detours and reduced speed limits and other delays in the traffic flow should be expected. Utility relocations along LA 1 and 308 corridors. As mentioned, the widening of these roadways will require the relocation of some buried utilities. Landowners should expect to see typical excavation activities associated with this type of work. Residents should stay clear of these areas as much as possible. Upon completion of the work, these changes should not be noticeable. Bridge footprint, sheet pile stabilization, guardrail, and fender system. The proposed bridge will be the most dramatic impact during construction. The east and west banks of Bayou Lafourche will be modified to protect the roadways from erosion and allow for safe movement of traffic. Navigation along Bayou Lafourche will occur in the same fashion as other bridges in the area. The bridge structure will be protected from impacts by a timber construction fender system. A bridge operator will control automobile and waterway traffic across the structure. Land acquisition along new connector roadway. The largest impact to landowners will occur at the location of the proposed connector roadway. The Port Commission is currently finalizing the acquisition of this property. During construction, there may be minor noise impacts. Drainage in this area and the adjacent properties will be improved at the completion of the project. Drainage ditch relocation. The existing ditch immediately to the south of the connector roadway will be regraded to facilitate positive drainage in this area. The details of this element are currently being designed. Construction impact should be minor. Construct or replace cross drains to Bayou Lafourche. We are anticipating that several cross drains under LA1, LA308, and LA3235 will be replaced in the project. Temporary traffic impact should be expected. These changes will facilitate improved drainage into Bayou Lafourche and to the outfall canals west of 3235. Part 5, Funding Sources and Schedule. Part 5 provides a breakdown of the current funding sources and current target dates to project completion. For funding, the BUILD grant contributes $16,422,000 to the project. The state of Louisiana contributed $9,350,000. Both the Lafourche Parish Government and the Greater Lafourche Port Commission have contributed $4,675,000 for a total project budget of $35,122,000. Target dates. The traffic study was recently completed. Environmental permit is anticipated to be completed by the end of August 2020. Right-of-way acquisition finalizing by the end of July 2020. Utility relocation should be complete by mid-February of 2021. 100% bid documents, advertisements should be done by October 2020. Construction work should begin early in April 2021 and will be completed by March of 2024. Thank you for your participation. The project representative's contact information is listed below. Please don't hesitate to call or email if you have any questions. Thank you.